Record. We don't know how long we gonna do this today. No, we gotta do it right. We live. We live. We live right now. Today it is July 10th, 2024. It's a Wednesday. It's hot. We in that Texas heat. 81 degrees in the house. I contemplated not doing this, but we are here. We are here today. So we're gonna do a podcast today, right? I got water right now. I should go ahead and get some coffee going. So to let you know that this is a coffee podcast and all that good stuff, right? But we're gonna do that. What's this? Okay, I don't know what's going on, but we're just gonna roll with it. 1.8, 50, 800. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. So it is a good day. Hey, I'm talking to the dog. She's kind of antsy right now. She's trying to do things. Today is a Wednesday. Hopefully, we pray today that the power does come on. We have had a interesting. Come on. We've had a hurricane/tornado. Mostly, I think it was a tornado. It messed up a lot of things, a lot of trees, and more importantly, the power. I saw what it did to the power lines, and we just hope to God that they can get it turned on. I do have some meat that's in the freezer that's still frozen. Everything else is, I don't care about. It's the meat. I spent a lot of money and time, especially on the sausage. So yeah, we just hope that it does come on today, relatively soon. But we're going to keep on pushing because that's what we're going to do. We got the juice that we got. And yeah. So what are we going to talk about today? This one actually may be shorter just because it is uncomfortable in the house. It is hot. But, it's funny. My wife always tells me, it's like, I'm African. So I knew you were going to say that when it's convenient. So I can endure this heat a lot more than other folks, if you know what I mean. But truthfully, I do want that power on. I need to start getting things cleaned up. A lot of things I got to do. Everything's falling behind. I'm supposed to be posting something every day, but it's kind of hard to do that when you only have so much things to use as juice, right? Let's go ahead and do this. There we go, 2.8. I don't know why this thing keeps going back and forth. But so let's talk about it. I'm almost at 100 episodes right now. And I told myself that after 100 episodes, I was going to do like more or so like a series or something like that as I keep going, because if one season is 100 episodes, that's a lot. I think I wanted to do it that way just because I didn't have really anything of a direction I wanted to go. I still kind of don't have a direction I really want to go. I could just call it season 2 and keep doing the same shit, right? Nobody would really know or care. But I want to start theming these out. I'm thinking 10 episodes, something like that. 10, 15 episodes per season now. Something like that. I don't know. Or series. I mean, in my system, they're going to be just keep running them up, right? But truthfully, I should have a series on a lot of this stuff to kind of just anchor people, give them something to kind of like look forward to and my different takes and angles on it. So I'm not going to get up for that. So where's the other one at? I guess I use this. There we go. I'll use something else for later. But yeah, so I'm thinking dark roast. Yeah. Dark roast is an interesting cat, especially when you're talking about specialty coffee. A lot of times we tend to get away from dark roast because It's not as pure as a light roast or even medium roast, you know. They always like to compare it to steaks, like how you barely cook a steak. And to make sure that you get the purity of the steak and all that bullshit. Everybody likes it different, you know. You get a lot of the mob of of steaks in particular. Like I had 135, you know, and then some people are like, no, I like it blue, or some people just don't care and they just tell you I like it well done. I respect those people, especially the people who like it well done, because they don't care about what you think. They're not going with the norm. They like what they like, right? It's the same thing with dark roast. And at times, I was a light roast person. You know, I'm not now, mainly because they all mostly taste the same, even when I roast it. You know, it has no real character. They taste like vegetable, which, why would you want to drink vegetables? It's just weird, right? When you say it like that, and then these peers come on to you and say that the coffee tastes like vegetables, and they won't say vegetables. They'll say something's bright, it's sweet, which most light roasts are not sweet, but whatever. But that's the thing about this. It's one of those things to where you know that you're you're climbing an uphill battle, especially with dark roasts, because not a lot of roasters do dark roast, and when they do, they just choose something cheap and tell you that they have one dark roast coffee. Me on the other hand, I have four, three, four. I have four, and my favorite is my Contagious. Contagious is very it's funky. It's kind of out there a little bit because it changes with the beans, right? But I like to use a interesting bean in order to go dark. So I don't really know why dark roast gets such a bad rap. It doesn't really matter why. We're gonna explore it because it needs to be explored. It needs that time on the stage. It needs to be on the top step, as they would say, in racing, the, the podium and all that good stuff, right? That's the thing that we are trying to chase. That's the thing that we are trying to find. Why dark roast? And I think dark roast, a lot of times, it doesn't matter if you do it right or not, but it's easier to tend to get a lot of more sweetness out of the coffee than what you would get compared to in a medium and a light roast. It's more forgiving when you brew it. It's easier to brew, although sometimes it does lose some of this flavor. If you do it right, it still has all of it there, right? Or if you find it. So, dark roast. Dark roast is an interesting bag right there. And I don't know how much you like dark roast, or you care for dark roast, or you think it's disgusting or whatnot, but I think it needs a place on the pedestal. I know there's companies that specialize in dark roast. I like dark roast because as much as it is, or it seems like it is, more bold and less flavorful, and it hits you right in the stomach and all that stuff. It's more pleasing to the palate too. Believe it or not, it really is. And it's one of those things to where if you taste it and explore it and you drink it while it's hot and then as it cools, I think you'll have a better appreciation for dark roast. I don't think I have any dark roasts right now. I'm probably going to make some soon. And as I do that, I hope that I'm able to figure it all out with you. I don't know really what I'm going to learn from this particular journey of dark roast discovery and celebration, because I always feel that I need to learn something, right? That's just me. You know, as much as I didn't like or care for or wasn't happy with the conclusion that I got with chasing sweetness, I still learned a lot. I pushed my boundaries with going even shallower or lower in temp with my coffee brewing. I played around with different pours and all that. Did most of it do anything? No, not really. But it didn't matter. I was practicing, I was tasting, and I was challenging the things that I do, right? And I think that's what I want also with this dark roast challenge. I think that's what I want to seek or find with all the challenges that I do, because all of it is a journey that we go down. And it's interesting that I'm talking about this right now because I can talk about dark roast and a couple of months down the road, and we can talk about it totally differently, right? But that's the thing about this. That's the thing that we are trying to really understand, engage, and get to the promised land, so to speak, right? So I don't know really what the goal or mission or accomplishment that I do want to get with dark roast. I just know that I want to be able to to see it out, to see what we're going to learn. And I think that's the beauty of the journey. Your journey is not my journey, but our journeys are connected in some way, somehow. And as we get better and understand the things that we're really trying to do with life and coffee and understanding and getting to the point that we are doing the things that we're trying to do, I think that's going to be extremely paramount in as we do things, right? Wow. So I'm at 67 still. That's the most I've gotten so far in a long time. 67 people have viewed my stuff, and we'll see. And yeah, it's interesting. I'm just looking at some of the stuff, the latest and greatest that I've done with the thing and all that stuff. And save device. It's at 67. It's a short little tips and tricks that is helping people, or hopefully helping people. And it was also this one in particular was about dark roast, because that's the thing we can talk about too. Dark roast is a very finicky coffee, even though it can be easy to brew. It's easy to extract, but easy to brew is a different story. Sometimes they love to get around the ridges, especially when you're dealing with a V60. So yeah, it's interesting. So we're going to play around with that a little bit more. We're going to see how we're working with things. We're going to explore more. And I think that's going to be the biggest takeaway as we go about this whole dark roast series in podcasting, right? Or we may just talk about nothing and keep it pushing from there. Nah, I won't do that. We'll see. But I won't lie to you. My mind is a little foggy. I'm trying to hopefully get this power turned on. It's not by my will, it's by the center point people out there trying to turn on power and stuff like that, right? I think that's really where we want to focus on. Do you understand? So yeah, interesting stuff, right? That wind was violent. It was a real deal. Able to break tree limbs and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. I don't really know what else I'm talking about right now. Coffee wise, let's talk about Amazon. There's a couple things playing around with the listings. I will play around with that once I get power, probably today, tomorrow. That's not up to me. See, that's the thing. A lot of things are not really up to me right now. I could just do the things that are right in front of me, like doing this podcast, for instance. It's cool to just get this done. Not so much of a completion type of thing, you know. But let me see. This does work. There we go. Let's see if we can color match that way. Let's do it this way. There we go. Black, gray, white. That's the way we roll. But yeah, I'm just doing the things that are in front of me, what I can do. That's all I can really do, right? That's the interesting thing about all of this, is that everybody in the world is just doing what they can. These people do need to get their tree, though. Now, piss me off. It's on my gate right now, my fence. I'm going to cut that thing down once the power turns on. I'm going to throw it back on their side. I'll probably just throw it on the other side. Who knows? I've been meaning to cut down that tree anyway. Didn't like that tree. But I'm so lazy. Sometimes people can be very lazy and sorry. Let's not talk bad about people right now. You'll start to see my true character come out as I talk about people in coffee and dark roast and how We need to be better about drinking dark roast. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think I'm just trying to string this on more than the time that I usually do. But it's all good because the thing about all of this is that we are all in a learning pattern right now. We're just trying to understand the things that we're trying to do and to gather and get better and let's see and get there in the right way. Okay. Just telling people I have no power either. There's no shame in the game. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go do something else right now. Okay. I'll edit this once I get power. And once I get power, I think things are gonna be moving the right way. And I do want to talk about one thing. I think we did talk about it before we actually the last episode that we did, 96, this 97, is that I'm going all in. I'm going all in on coffee. I'm going all in on YouTube. And one of the things that have been thinking about is really truly just how do I do that? I post a decent amount right now, which is cool. But I think one of the things that I'm understanding more than anything is that I need to do more things. I need to put myself out there. I need to learn and get better as I do these things because that's the biggest thing, biggest takeaway that I can understand. I mean, that I can do for myself. And as I do that, I'm just going to get better. And that's what it is. I just want to get better for myself. And as I get better, it's going to help out other people. I truly believe that. Either through my words or actions or whatnot. But I think people will see the change, they will see the greatness, and then they will probably want to do that in their lives too. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things, takeaways about all of this is that it's about growth, but it's also about like seeing the change as it happens. I think that's critical. And that's the beauty of documenting. That's the beauty of putting this stuff out there on YouTube. So again, my goal, crazy lofty goal, is to not necessarily post something every day on YouTube. I just want to have that content ready to rock and roll. I don't know really what I would do with it all the time. But the point is that I'm putting myself out there. And I think right now a lot of the material will be duds. But then as I keep doing this and getting better and understanding the things that I want to do and talk about and help people out along their journey, their coffee journey, is there will be places to where it does stick in a way to where it's going to be beneficial for people, right? That's where we're at with a lot of this stuff. That's the way I look at it right now. So yeah, yeah. Let's go get it. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.